Hello guys, I'm Sasha. You are on the channel Sasha and Z. I'm believing I'm originally from Belarus and I've been living in New Zealand already for 9 months. Actually, it's end of the year and I decided to make this video about conclusions after almost 1 year living in New Zealand. And let's start! Let's talk first of all about my first impressions after my arriving to New Zealand. And when you live for a long time, you get used to this. But when I just arrived to New Zealand, everything looked so new for me. I took photo of every random traffic light, of every random tree, because everything looked so different compared to my country. I'm driving on the left to different trees, different people, and I remember when we flew from Auckland to Palmerston North, where I live now. I was shocked how beautiful are hills here. And when I arrived here in April. I felt this difference between air. The air was so clean. I don't know how to explain. I felt that I arrived somewhere to some nature place. That's how my new chapter started. Actually, first I liked climate very much. It was warm, not too hot, not windy, but when winter started in New Zealand in June, I was quite shocked of strong winds here. It was the strongest wind I've ever felt in my life. We don't have such winds in my country. We have cold climate, but not so windy climate. and it's sometimes it's really annoying. I don't like wind, but because of New Zealand is close to Antarctica, because New Zealand is around ocean is around New Zealand, and they have mountains here. Climate is very different. In my country, we don't have even mountains. We don't even have sea. When I say this, all people are shocked. But yeah, the first time in my life I saw mountains, it was in New Zealand, guys. And the first time I saw sea, I had to fly to different country. And for me, living by the ocean, it was something unreal. For me, it was like it's for people from different planet, maybe. Just remember my first impressions when I saw ocean. It was my second time I saw ocean in my life. And now when I come to Foxton Beach, for me it looks simple because I already saw so many beaches here. But when I saw the ocean here the first time, I was just shocked. For me it was like, oh my god, planet Mars. You will never understand me if you were born here, but if you were born in Belarus or somewhere, I don't even know the country like Belarus, which don't have ocean or sea around. Maybe Belarus is the only one country doesn't have ocean or sea. I was like child. I was happy to see the ocean. I was happy to see these hills, and now I understand that I also got used to this. For me, it's not so unique like it was when I just arrived. For me, even these small hills were like wow, because my country is also just a flat, straight roads, but here it's like amusement park, roller coaster. Maybe you're also shocked that I was shocked because maybe for you it's everything simple, but guys, even this trees and palm trees, I don't know. Actually, I'm shocked that even in New Zealand they have such plants like we have. I don't know who created this, but it's so unusual. It's unusual. I've been the first time in my life to the cave. I've seen the first time in my life blue springs, lagoons, different beaches. I've seen mountains, South Island. I've been to the South Island after 8 months as I was living here already, and I can say that the South Island is even more impressive than the North Island. Of course, there are a lot of places in the North Island like Rotorua, like Blue Springs and mountains from the Lord of the Rings. But the South Island has so beautiful mountains, also springs, most beautiful lakes I've ever seen. I just remember I watched 2 years ago my favorite travel show from blogger. I said myself that I want to visit this place too. So my dream came true, and fortunately I didn't see blooming of lupins. I also seen sakura blooming. I didn't even know about this. Didn't even learn much about New Zealand because I just didn't believe I can arrive here. When I was even flying about Solomon Islands, Samoa, I was like, what is even going in my life? Even if you live here, you have same problems like in the rest of the world. Already the fact that you are living here, or if you were born here, it's already big luck. What was also unexpected at all, I've seen James Cameron and Sam Worthington, main actors from Avatar, in real life. I've never seen actors, big actors, Hollywood stars in my life, but in New Zealand it came true. The most complicated part of this year was missing home, missing relatives, friends, because I didn't find here friends and community yet. I met some Russian speaking people online and offline, but they live in different cities, and I truly want to move from this city. If we will live here for a longer time, I wish we live in bigger city like Auckland or Christchurch, because it's also very important for me to have my community and develop. So yeah, it was hard part of this year, to be honest, and it's not only ponies, unicorns, and pink glasses. It's also some difficulties. I think this problem will have everyone who will move somewhere far away. Community, job, and maybe language problems. Actually, it's also very hard to understand that now all my life here is in English. Just 24 hours a day, I need to understand English, I need to talk to people in English, and there is no Russian at all. English is my third, I will say, fourth language. And I've never learned English in school. I just learned German, and after German, it was quite easy to learn English, but it's not simple at the same time. I understand that I make a lot of mistakes now, but I will better talk if not, because that's how you improve English. I was just talking to people in travels, I was just talking to English speaking people, but I'm also happy that it's something new for me. I'm developing, my brain is working. It's interesting. It's interesting because when you're just talking your own language all the day, you don't even think much about your brain slowly works. But when you try to make sentences or you're learning something new, it's good. It's good for yourself. A lot of people have problems with work in New Zealand, especially now. I'm not working in New Zealand because I don't have this opportunity yet. But in the future, if I will live here for a longer time, I want to get working visa and try something creative. At the same time, because of arriving to New Zealand, my social medias are growing. I have motivation to make videos. I have motivation to share my content with people. I make a lot of videos, photos for different social medias. There are disadvantages as well. When your social medias are growing, you are getting more and more haters. And I was simply shocked how many Russian speaking people were disrespectful and jealous because of my such a big step. I still get a lot of haters from especially older people from my country, from Russia, Ukraine, because it's just not impossible in their minds. That's how you can feel the difference between people from past Soviet Union countries and people like in New Zealand. A lot of people in past Soviet Union countries, especially older people, because of they lived in Soviet Union, They had hard life, and they have a lot of thoughts still about that everything is hard in your life. Money is impossible, traveling is impossible, and that's why they just don't believe that I'm being so young can be here at the end of the world. It's quite sad, but they try me to feel ashamed for my good life. So I understand this. I'm quite good psychologist for myself, and it's their own problem, but sometimes it's really mentally hard when people talk bad about you if you say nothing bad about them and about anything. I just changed my hairstyle because I have headache because of this tail. So the next one I want to talk about is a lifestyle. If you didn't know, I lived before in Minsk, in the capital of Belarus, and before I lived for 1 year in Warsaw. So it's quite big city, and I got used to living in the city. Despite I was born in small town, but I moved when I was 17 to Minsk because of studying. And when I came here, I felt like I arrived to a village. I will not say that the city I live here is village, but I don't have enough things like I had in the city. Here, I understand if I want something like this, I need to go to Wellington or Auckland. Blin! It's very wild conditions, guys. So here I miss a little bit my city life I had before. Like I like to go to restaurants with my friends. I like to go to mall. But here I understand if I want to do this, I need to go to Wellington or Auckland, which is 400 kilometers away. And I want to move from here even faster. But when I lived in Minsk, I lived in concrete jungle. I lived in apartments and it was nowhere to walk. There were even no birds, guys, because it was no nature at all, just high buildings. It was beautiful, but no nature at all. And now I'm saying go to live in a private house. I like this. It's better than living in concrete jungle. But yeah, sometimes I want something like I had before. But I understand that life can change very fast, so I need to appreciate what I have now. It's also nice. It makes me healthier. It makes me less stressful because when you live in the city, you feel this chaos house. What do I also like living in New Zealand? The fact how people are acting here, how different is mentality. Oh my god, again! How different is the mentality between people. I already told how rude can be people from post-Soviet Union countries. Not everyone, but in New Zealand, I feel that people are happier. They live their life. They don't survive, most of them. Of course, they are different problems, different lives. But in New Zealand, I just breathe out. Like, wow, people are not in fear. They're not afraid. Here in New Zealand, I finally feel more free, which is really important. Actually, in Belarus, it's quite safe. When we talk about homeless thieves, we don't have this much. And I like that in New Zealand, there are also not a lot of thieves. You can walk and hold your phone in your hand, not like in Barcelona or Paris, where you walk and they can take your phone in 1 second. My god, I feel like I need to finish this video because my phone is falling. Maybe it will be raining soon. So there is one stereotype that people in New Zealand, they can smile to your face and say different thing in background. I don't know if it's true, but I just also don't like when I came to my country and everyone is sad, everyone is grumpy, just depressive. It also connected to the climate, it's true. It's the fact that people in sunny countries with the ocean, they are more happy. But we have gray weather and that's why a lot of people are sleepy, depressive, sad. That's why I like that in New Zealand, I feel this happiness in people's eyes. It's also nice that they are people from many countries. You can find really good community. I didn't find it yet, but I know that if I live in Auckland, I can find a lot of friends. I've also been this year to my favorite band concert, Rufus Du Sol in Auckland. That's why I also like this year. And I also have been to Fiji. It was first tropical place in my life. I've never seen palm trees with coconuts in my life. It was so beautiful, and I like that in New Zealand you can fly just for 2-3 hours and you're somewhere in French Polynesia, Rarotonga, Samoa, Bali, Australia. A lot of people are complaining that you need to fly for a long time to Europe, but I don't need Europe anymore because I have here New Zealand's nature. It's a very interesting country to travel, and you can fly to the most magical islands in this world. And I'm so grateful that because of I came to New Zealand, I also visited other islands. I hope the next year will be even more impressive, interesting, and happy for me. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I feel so much support from New Zealander people. They're so nice, friendly, and thank you for 2,000 followers. I will be happy if you will follow my Telegram channel, Instagram, and YouTube. Wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're going to Auckland and then probably we're going to Coromandel for camping. I'm excited. It's one of the most beautiful regions for beaches. And I feel like we're falling. It's time to finish this video. Thank you so much, guys, and see you in next videos. Bye bye.